Good morning, everyone. I am Sunil Kumar Vishwakarma, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, School of Engineering, Babu Banarsi Das, University, Lucknow. Today in this lecture, I am going to explain you error control techniques. In the last lecture, I have discussed about the error detection techniques, that is simple parity check, two-dimensional parity check, checksum, and cyclic redundancy check. But in this lecture we are going to discuss other issues of the error control techniques. Here, when an error is detected in a message, the receiver sends a request to the transmitter to transmit the ill-fated message or packet. So for this, the most popular retransmission scheme is known as automatic repeat request, and that is in short is known as ARQ. Such schemes where receiver asks transmitter to retransmit if it detects an error are known as reverse error correction techniques. So there exist three popular ARQ techniques, automatic repeat request techniques, and we will discuss one by one. Here it is shown error control techniques are of two types: stop and wait ARQ, sliding window ARQ. And sliding window ARQ is further divided into two categories: go back and selective repeat. Now stop and wait ARQ. In stop and wait ARQ, which is simplest among all protocols, among three, the sender, say station A, transmits a frame. Why we use frame? Because we are working on the which layer? Data link layer. So station A transmits a frame and then waits till it receives positive acknowledgement. There are two types of acknowledgement are used in the data communication. Positive, for that we use ACK, and negative acknowledgements, for that we use NACK, negative acknowledgement. So here in this stop and wait ARQ, station A transmits a frame and then waits till it receives positive acknowledgement or negative acknowledgement from the receiver, say station B. So here in this example, A is the sender and B is the receiver. Station B sends an acknowledgement if the frame is received correctly. Otherwise, it sends negative acknowledgement if it is not received correctly. Okay, so station A sends a new frame after receiving acknowledgement. Otherwise, it retransmits the old frame if it receives a negative acknowledgement. Means after receiving acknowledgement, station A sends fresh frame or new frame, but if it receives negative acknowledgement, it sends the old frame again, or we can say that it retransmits the old frame. Okay, so here in this this is the timing diagram. You can say station A and station B, frame F0 is transmitted and station B receives this frame F0. Here it is shown that the lines are the diagonal line, not the straight line. It is showing that it is not the same time. The time which is sent, the frame when it is sent from the sender is A, it is received at the same time at this station B. If it will be a straight line, that it means like this. Okay, but it takes some time, so this timing, this arrow is diagonal here. So this delay is known as the propagation delay, which is represented by the T time, T for time, propagation time or propagation delay. After that, station B process this frame. So during the processing, the time is known as processing delay, that is TPROC, is shown here. After that, station B sends an acknowledgement regarding this frame F0. So for this F0, there is acknowledgement A0. It's sent back to the station A. Okay, so time is increasing here from the left to right direction. A0 is received, means acknowledgement for the frame 0 is received by the station A. And after that, frame 1, frame 2 is transferred, and for that station B sends the acknowledgement or negative acknowledgement for that, whatever the situation is. Okay, so this diagram is showing the process, how it works, and what are the delays are there in this stop and wait ARQ. Okay, now to tackle the problem of lost or damaged frame, if any frame is lost or damaged, so what sender do? The sender is equipped with a timer. In case of lost acknowledgement, the sender transmits the old frame. In the figure, it will be shown in the next slide. The second PDU of data, payload field of the data, is lost during transmission. The sender is unaware of this loss but starts a timer. Here it is shown. In this diagram, there are two horizontal lines above in this diagram, and below there are two horizontal lines. So above two horizontal lines represents the sender, and the downwards it represents the receiver. So when sender starts sending the data, it starts a timer. Within that time, if acknowledgement is received, then it is okay. Otherwise, sender automatically knows that that data is in error or lost, is not received correctly. If received, then it is not correct. So it transmits again. So if timer is timeout, the sender sends the data. Okay, so here it is written, the sender is unaware of this loss but starts a timer after sending each PDU. Normally an acknowledgement PDU is received before the timer expires, but in this case no acknowledgement is received and the timer counts down to 0 and triggers transmission of the same PDU by the sender. Okay, the sender always starts a timer following transmissions, but in the second transmission receives an acknowledgement PDU before the timer expires, finally indicating that the data has now been received by the remote node. The receiver now can identify that it has received a duplicate frame from the level of the frame and it is discarded. Okay, so here in this figure, timer on the top, timer started, timer stopped, timer restarted. If it is timeout, the timer restarted. In two cases, how many cases are there for the retransmission of the same old packet? Sorry, old frame. Because here we are discussing about the data link here. If acknowledgement is not received within the time limit, or timer is timeout. Okay, or sender receives negative acknowledgement. In both cases, the old frame is retransmitted. This is the retransmission due to damaged frame, or negative acknowledgement. Sender A sends frame 0 is received, but there is some error is found in the frame 0 by the station B. Again, station B sends negative acknowledgement from the same frame F0. It is received and station A came to know that there is some error in the frame which was previously sent. After that, it sends again that frame F0. and after that there is no error detected, and the station B sends again acknowledgement, positive acknowledgement for the frame F0 to the A. So in this way this retransmission due to damaged frame works. Okay, now the main advantage of stop and wait ARQ is its simplicity. It also requires minimum buffer size. Buffer means temporary storage area which is used for the processing. So it requires minimum buffer size, and however it makes high inefficient use of communication link, particularly when A is large. What is A? I will tell you later. Now the next popular protocol is ARQ protocol. ARQ protocol, automatic repeat request, I have already told you. The most popular ARQ protocol is the go back N ARQ, where the sender sends the frame continuously without waiting for the acknowledgement. But this was not the case with the previous technique. In that, one frame is sent and sender waits for the acknowledgement, then only it sends the another frame. But in this case, sender sends the frames continuously without waiting for the acknowledgement. That is why it is also called continuous ARQ. As the receiver receives the frames, it keeps on sending acknowledgements or negative acknowledgements. In case of a frame is incorrectly received, when the sender receives a negative acknowledgement, it retransmits the frame in error plus all the succeeding frames. Hence, the name of the protocol is go back N. Means the frame which is having error and all the frames which was sent after that frame, that is again resent by the sender. That is why it is known as go back N ARQ. If a frame is lost, the receiver sends negative acknowledgement after receiving the next frame. In case there is long delay before sending the negative acknowledgement, the sender will resend the lost frame after its timeout, because this out. So here timer plays very important role in the data communications. So in this diagram it is shown frames in error in go back and ARQ. Frames in error. There are sender and receiver. Sender is sending frame 0. There are frame 0, frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. So there are frame 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the sender sends frame 0, receiver receives it. Sender sends frame 1, receiver receives frame 1. Sender sends frame 2, receiver receives frame 2. Frame 3. Frame 3 is received, but there was an error in the frame 3 when it was received by the receiver. So for that, a receiver sends negative acknowledgement. Before receiving the negative acknowledgement, sender sends some frames also. What are those frames? Frame 4 and 5 in this diagram. When receiver sends back the negative acknowledgement for the frame 3, whatever the frames after that it received, that is discarded by the receiver. In this case, frame 4 and 5. As soon as sender receives the negative acknowledgement, it sends the frame for which it has received the negative acknowledgement and all the frames which was sent after this. So in this case, frame 3, 4, 5 is resent, is retransmitted. Okay, so that is why this is known as go back and ARQ. So in this diagram there is a situation in which one frame is not received correctly. So for this, receiver sends the negative acknowledgement. Okay. Now, lost frames in go back N ARQ. In go back N, in this example, sender is sending frame 0 that is received correctly. Frame 1 is sent and receiver received it correctly. But when frame 2 is sent by the sender, it is lost during the transmission or during transit. So frame 2 is lost. After that, frame 3 is sent by the sender and it was discarded by the receiver. Okay, so frames are numbered for the sake of simplicity. So for this, receiver discarded that frame 3 and sent the negative acknowledgement for the frame 2, which was lost in the during the transmission. Okay, when sender receives the negative acknowledgement for the frame 2, during this sender again sends the frame 4, a new frame. It is also discarded by the receiver. As soon as sender receives the negative acknowledgement, and due to this lost frame 2, it sends frame 2, frame 3 and frame 4, because after frame 2, 3 and 4 was also sent. So that is why it is go back N. So it has sent all the frames which was sent after the frame 2. Okay, you got the points? Have you got the points? Okay. Lost acknowledgement in go back N ARQ. Lost acknowledgement in go back N ARQ. Sender, receiver. Sender sends the frame 0, frame 1 and frame 2. These 3 frames arrived correctly at the receiver, but sender sends the frame 3 but its timer times out. Okay, and the receiver sends the acknowledgement for the frame 3, but that acknowledge is lost, is not received correctly by the sender. Okay, so without receiving the acknowledgement for the frame 3 that is lost during the transit, sender's timer times out and it's again sends the frame 0, 1, 2 was retransmitted again. So in this figure, it is shown that how due to lost acknowledgement, the frames are transmitted in the go back N ARQ. Okay. Now, if no acknowledgement is received after sending N frames, the sender takes the help of a timer. After the timer times out, it resumes retransmission. The go back N protocol also takes care of damaged frames and damaged acknowledgements. This scheme is little more complex than the previous one, but gives much more higher throughput. Throughput means data sent per second. The amount of data received correctly by the receiver per second is known as throughput. Assuming full duplex transmission, the receiving end sends piggybacked acknowledgement by using some number in the acknowledgement field of its data frame. Let us assume that a 3-bit sequence number is used and suppose that a station sends frame 0 and gets back an RR1 and then sends frames 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 0 and gets another RR1. So in this way it works. Okay. The go backend protocol also takes care of damaged frames and damaged acknowledgements. So this scheme is little more complex than the previous one, but it gives more higher throughput as already told you. Now the third ARQ is selective repeat ARQs. The selective repeat ARQ scheme retransmits only those for which negative acknowledgements are received or for which timer has expired. So this is the most efficient among the ARQ schemes. Why it is most efficient? Because it retransmits only those frames for which the acknowledgement is received. But the sender must be more complex. It should have extra logic for this, so that it can send out of order frames. The receiver also must have storage space to store the post negative acknowledgement frames and processing power to reinsert frames in the proper sequence. So for this, sender uses extra logic, so it is more complex. Okay, this logic is complex. Okay, now here it is shown in the selective repeat reject. There are two stations, station A and station B. Time is increasing from left to right direction. Station A sends the frames, frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After transmitting these frames, station B receives frame 1, and for this frame B, station B sends the acknowledgement, positive acknowledgement for the frame 1, that is here it is shown in the form of A1, A2. But in the frame which is received by the station B, that is frame 3, there was an error, and for this station B sends negative acknowledgement to the station A. But till that time, station A has already transmitted the frames F4, F5, F6, F7, and after that the negative acknowledgement for the frame 3 is received by the station A. At that time, station A came to know about the error in the frame 3. But in this selective repeat ARQ, there is no problem. Station A sends only frame 3. Only frame 3 is retransmitted due to damaged frame. Okay, and after that positive acknowledgement is sent by the station B. None other than F3 is retransmitted due to the logic of the selective repeat ARQ. Okay, so in this way this selective repeat works. Now the next there are some certain questions that is very important, is related to this topic. What are the key functions of error control techniques? So there are two basically types of errors, namely damaged frame and the lost frame. The key functions for error control techniques are error detection, to detect error, sending of positive acknowledgements by the receiver for no error, sending of negative acknowledgements by the receiver for error, setting of timer for lost frame, and the numbering of frames. These are the key functions for the error control techniques which should be employed during the data transmission. Okay, Now the second question is, why is flow control needed? So why flow control is needed? In case of data communication between a sender and receiver, it may so happen that the rate at which data is transmitted by a fast sender is not acceptable by a slow receiver. In such a situations, there is a need of mechanism that is known as flow control, so that a fast transmitter does not overwhelm a slow receiver. So there should not be speed mismatch. The next question is, mention key advantages and disadvantages of stop and wait ARQ technique. The advantage of stop and wait is simple to implement. Frame numbering is modulo 2, that is only one bit is required. But the advantage of disadvantage of the stop and wait ARQ is that when the propagation delay is long, it is extremely inefficient. So when the propagation delay is long, its performance is not good. Okay, now there are two questions that is related to these ARQ techniques. The first question is, consider the use of 10K bit size frame. The size of frame is 10K bit on a 10 Mbps megabits per second satellite channel with a 270 millisecond delay. So in here it is asked the link utilization for the stop and wait ARQ, assuming P is equals to 10 to the power minus 3. So the formula for the stop and wait ARQ technique is link utilization is equals to 1 minus P divided by 1 plus 2A, where A is equals to propagation time divided by the transmission time. Here we are given the propagation time, but we can calculate the transmission time. Transmission time is equals to frame length divided by the data rate. Here we are given the frame length 10K bit divided by the 10 megabits per second. In this way, transmission time is 1 millisecond. Okay, A is equals to 270 by 1, that is 270. So in this way we can calculate the link utilization is equals to 0.999 divided by 1 plus 2 into 270, that is approximately 0.0018, that is 0.18%. Okay, so in this case the link utilization for stop and wait ARQ is 0.18%. So this type of question can also be asked in the examinations, in the competitive examinations or in the semester examinations. Now the next question is, what is the channel utilization for the go back N protocol with the window size of 7? Because go back N and the selective repeat comes under the category of sliding window ARQ. So the channel utilization for the go back N is equals to N1 minus P within bracket divided by 1 plus 2A into 1 minus P plus NP. So here the P is the probability of single frame error, that is 10 to the power minus 3 approximately. So for this the channel utilization is, if we put the values in this formula, we get the channel utilization is 1.285%. Okay, so these are the numerical questions which can be asked in the examinations. Now in what way selective repeat is better than go back and ARQ technique? In selective repeat scheme, only the frame error is retransmitted rather than transmitting all the subsequent frames. Hence it is more efficient than the go back N. In what situation stop and wait protocol works efficiently? The transmitter, after sending a frame, waits for the acknowledgement before sending the next frame. This protocol works efficiently for long frames. when propagation time is small. Okay. Now the next question is how the inefficiency of stop and wait protocol is overcome in the sliding window protocol. The stop and wait protocol is inefficient when large number of small packets are sent by the transmitter, since the transmitter has to wait for the acknowledgement of each individual packet before sending the next one. So this problem can be overcome by sliding window protocol. In sliding window protocol, multiple frames are sent before receiving an acknowledgement from the receiver. Now the last question is, what is piggybacking and what are its advantages? The link between receiver and transmitter is full duplex, and usually both transmitter and receiver station sends data to each over that channel. So instead of sending separate acknowledgement packets, a portion or a few bits of the data frames can be used for the acknowledgement. So this phenomena is known as piggybacking. So piggybacking helps in the better channel utilization, and multi-frame acknowledgement can be done. So this is all about of the error control techniques. Thank you so much.